sepoy in the Bengal Native Infantry, and he ends up being involved in the First Opium War. But, a sepoy army in the early 19th century was a very, very different kettle of fish from any kind of army that we can think of today. And I was very fortunate in finding a whole set of prints of a Bengal Native Infantry regiment on the march. So, as it happens, my book opens with the Bengal Native Infantry on the march. So I'm going to show you, as I read, you'll see certain slides appearing behind me. And these slides are from a contemporary print, 1842, by a British company called William Ackerman and Company. They would produce these slides for circulation, produce these prints for circulation in England. They were known as panoramas to introduce the British public to, the sights and sounds of India, as it was. Havildar Kesri Singh was the kind of soldier who liked to take the lead, particularly on days like this one, when his battalion was marching through a territory that had already been subdued, and the advance guard's job was only to fly the Paltan's colours and put on their best parade faces for the benefit of the crowds that had gathered by the roadside. Right behind Kesri's horse, following on foot, was the so-called Rasad Guard, the foraging party. Behind them were the camp followers, inaccurately named, since they actually marched ahead of the troops and far exceeded them in number, there being more than 2,000 of them to a mere 600 sepoys. Their caravan was like a moving city, a long train of ox-drawn bailis carrying people of all sorts, pundits and milkwomen, shopkeepers and Banjara grain sellers, even a troop of bazaar girls, and then a platoon of scythe-bearing ghas cutters. To them would fall the task of providing fodder for the hundreds of animals that marched with the column. Behind them came those who would prepare the campsite, tent-pitching khalasis, flag-bearing thatni-walas, coolies with cooking kits, dandiya porters with poles slung over their shoulders, and of course, cleaners and sweepers, mehters and bangi bardars. Next was the battalion's laundry contingent, a large group of dhobis and dhobins, with a string of donkeys laden with bundles of washing. Animals too there were aplenty, noisy flocks of sheep, goats and bullocks, and elephants and camels as well, carrying the officers' baggage and the furniture for their mess, the tables and chairs tied on with their legs in the air, wriggling and shaking like appended beetles. Then came Pagla Baba, the naked Naga ascetic, who travelled everywhere